everybody. Welcome to the Caprock Life Podcast, the official podcast of Caprock Home Health, which has been in business over 42 years. We are the largest family-owned home health company in Texas. Our mission is to keep our clients safe, comfortable, and independent in their home. We are a values-based company, and our core values spell the acronym DIRECT, because our core values direct how we behave. Our core values are drive, integrity, respect, empowerment, compassion, and teamwork. Our standard of excellence: work hard, be nice, have fun. Let's get into it. Well, welcome back to the Caprock Podcast. This is our first episode of 2026, and we wanted to start the year together strong. I'm Brad. I'm our Chief People Officer, and I'm joined by Carlos, our fearless CEO. Hey, Carlos.
How's it going, man?
Good.
I'm excited.
Welcome.
Excited to start this year.
It's going to be fun.
It is. It's going to be a good one.
Year. Yeah. Well, let's do a quick warm-up. We're keeping these episodes a little shorter this year. That's the aim, at least.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll go off on some rabbit trails and some tangents.
I'm going to try to control it.
Yeah, today we promise to keep it short and sweet. So let's kick it off with an icebreaker. If Caprock were an underdog sports team or movie character, who are we and why?
So this is not really a sports team. Could be a movie character. I'm sure they've made some shows, movies about it. But I think one of my favorites is David versus Goliath. Right. So I've always compared, thinking about where we want to be, right? How great company we want to be, where we're at now, the sizable companies, publicly traded, all of those things. We're still pretty small. So I obviously consider ourselves as David in this story and taking on, Goliath, which is the larger players in the industry itself, looking to make some change and some positive change. Now, David going into this fight, he obviously won. People, if that's a spoiler alert, I'm sorry. But him going in to take on this battle, right, to look to end this war, he went in only with a sling and 5 stones. But he refused to put on heavy armor, right, to fight this. And he wanted to get into it. A lot of it, he was relying on the faith of God to help win this battle. But he obviously was an underdog in this, not expected to win, especially against a strong and mighty Goliath. But what some people don't know is that David, being seen as a weaker character, at least obviously as the underdog, he came with a skill set. So growing up and being taking care of his sheep, right, his herd. I think as a shepherd, he had to fend off lions and bears, and one of the best ways they did it was a sling and stone, right? So he became a marksman. He was an expert in this area, and going into that, he had the ability in the distance, the ability to succeed even at a distance by throwing these stones instead of giving up close and getting tied in with the battle. And I often kind of compare ourselves, at least in that story, to that with our people, with our direction, the expertise we have, all of the things we've learned, we've failed at and succeeded at. We have the ability to take an expertise approach along with a strong passion, right, and a desire. And I would say the faith in this story is a faith in the people, right? We're getting the right people in place. We're bringing the right people on, setting the right goals, and having the same desire for success is something that's truly going to help us, and that's something that we're going to utilize to surprise people. And so we're going to be able to be versatile, to change. The focus is to take down the Goliaths, not necessarily to become a Goliath ourselves, but take on the challenges and things they're putting in place. And we're gonna go forward and actually make this industry better, right? I want to take it on patient by patient, location by location. Although we're small, right, in a voice, but we are mighty in numbers, mighty in our passion, mighty in our desires. So I'm not worried about a Goliath, right? We're gonna help our own. We're gonna hold our own to this fight, and I think we certainly come with that skill set that we've been building over the last 43 years to make an impression.
Yeah. Well, man, that tees us up beautifully for our theme unpacking for the year, and that theme is why not us, why not now? And so I think you just hit it. Let's go ahead and wrap the podcast, and we'll call it
done.
No, but really, just like you said, Carlos, like David and Goliath, we've got that underdog mindset. We're family-owned. We're mission-driven. 40-plus years of just grit and tenacity, compassion, integrity. We're not the biggest, much like David, but we're nimble, we're hungry,
Right.
we're agile, and at the end of the day, we're deeply human. We care about people.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a superpower for us as well.
Absolutely.
So it really poises us for success for the coming years. And really, this is about ownership, and that's one of our priorities we'll get into in a little bit. It's about leaning in instead of waiting, and it's about asking better questions of ourselves. So this why not us, this why not now, it's not a hype slogan, it's really a mindset shift.
Yeah.
And so kind of the critical question for each of our listeners here is, when opportunity shows up, are we ready, or are we waiting for someone else to go first? And you think about that even with David and Goliath. David didn't just wait around. He stepped up, and people laughed at him for it. They thought he was crazy for being the first to go and being proactive. He could have gotten himself killed, but in the end, he ended up being victorious because he was proactive. He didn't wait around. So I think we're in the same boat there as David.
Absolutely.
So with that, Carlos, you want to talk a little bit more and just kind of reinforce this belief in our people as one of our superpowers?
Yeah. So really, when I look, if you want to, when you look at the organization as a whole, it's not so much that I see potential, right? Because we're already capable. We're hiring, we're bringing people on, we're educating, we're learning, we're failing, we're always excelling to improve it. So it's the capabilities already exist there, right? You can say potential is high, but as far as potential, I see it more as opportunistic. We have incredible people. We know where we want to go. We need to deliver that message, clarify it, instill it in everybody continuously. But I have a belief, right, that we will overcome any challenges that we've been given, and we continue to, and we'll continue to face them. But we're resilient, and a lot of it really is because of our people. It just is. It's a capability we already have, if not obtaining. So it's really, if not jumping on opportunities, creating them for ourselves. That's the huge thing that's driving me right now. Right, the thing that I look forward to is identifying opportunities, but then seeing what opportunities others identify and bring to the table to help us really succeed and start to become a true player, but more so a true solution in this industry. Help us play our part, but also help us expand, enhance, and identify where we can improve. Right, this industry, this partnership, and everything focused around the patient.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Talking on that too, the why not now piece. Talk a little bit about this sense of urgency that comes with that. Why do you think there's a sense of urgency?
There's a sense of urgency because we have no idea how this industry is going to shift. We have an opportunity now. Opportunities will still exist as shifts go. But it's almost taking advantage of what it is we do know and what we have now and making that impression. Every time that we prepare for that, it's going to make us better for that next change. But why wait for the next change? Why sit and wonder, well, it might be better later? Similar to like New Year's resolutions. Why would you want to wait till January 1st date to make improvements when you can make them right now, and you can get ahead of the game, and that you can be better sooner. So the why not now is just, what are we waiting for, right? Why are we waiting for somebody to bring us a new option or a new change? Why don't we go out and create it ourselves, knowing what we have and make that happen? So the why not now is ideally, why wait until tomorrow?
Yeah, it's almost a bigger risk to wait because we run the risk of getting left behind if we're not adapting, innovating, evolving now. We can be proactive. We may fail at times. We're going to roll out some products and some service lines that may stink and bust. But if we sit on our heels and wait, we're going to get left behind. So that urgency's there.
And we're going to do it smart. Try the concept I learned about firing bullets versus cannonballs was we're going to be able to take these precise, I'd say pretty much calculated trials, right? Pilots, risks, whatever they are, and see what sticks, right? See if we need to calibrate it a little bit more till we hit that target, and then we're going to go full speed and take advantage of it.
Love that. Yeah. So why not us? Why not now? That's our theme for the year. You're going to hear a lot more about it. Why not us is because there's nothing we lack. Like Carlos said, we're already capable. And why not now is because tomorrow doesn't reward hesitation. So we've got to jump on it. Got to get it. So with that, let's transition to our 3 priorities. We're going to unpack those high level today, and in some coming episodes, we'll really dig into each one. This is always fun to look at your priorities that you set for the year, Carlos. It gives us a direction and a tone for the year, really, of what to focus on. So again, we'll stick to high level today. But if the theme of Why Not Us, Why Not Now is our mindset as we go into this year, the next question is, what are we actually focused on in 2026? And so we've aligned around 3 priorities that will guide decisions, our energy, and our expectations this year. So let's unpack a few of those. The first one we're going to look at is break everything. And this ties to our core values of drive and teamwork. So Carlos, let's hear a little bit, again, just high level today, but what does that mean to you to break everything?
So ideally, I think I started on the description of this, is ideally what got us here won't get us there, right? I think that's a standard statement. That's certainly not original content, original terminology, but it's a guiding light to just understand that we have to evolve, we have to change, and we have to get better. Ideally, it sets the stage for continuous improvement. We should not help but to always focus on continuous improvement. It's embracing the curiosity, find out how we can do things better. Obviously, always keeping our patients and clients in mind, but that's exactly what we have to do. How can we provide services to them better? How can we get the majority of our focus in just taking care of our people better and really reduce the monotonous practice of meeting compliance? Compliance should be a byproduct of what we do. We have rules and regulations, obviously, that we have to operate within, but there's no rules to say how to get there. Right? How we use our own systems, how we use our people, how we use our creativity, efficiencies. I think when I made the original video about this, I talked about, to just kind of explain what we're going to do, is like when I was younger, I used to love taking apart electronic toys, right, to figure out how they work. And want to put them back together, right? That's, ideally changing it. And the idea is to put it back together the way it was. But there's lessons that I learned in this, right? And 2, in particular, as far as failures, is 1, I was doing it without competency. I had no idea what I was doing. It was just straight curiosity. I want to avoid breaking our processes, our programs, our workflows apart just out of curiosity. We have to have a purpose. We have to have a mission, and that is to make it better, to put it back together better again. So I won't be doing it by myself, obviously. We're going to be using the experts in this field for their feedback and exploring ways, understanding how it works so we can put it back together better. And if nothing changes, then we take that practice and ensure that's being utilized in every location, right, in every part of the process, everywhere. And then the second one is I did it alone. Right, so I didn't have the expertise of anybody else understanding, and explaining it to me how it works, and only to put it back together. And this might be the better way to do it, to enhance the product. So when we need to put it back together, we're going to be putting it back together with teams, with the people that do this, right, on the front lines. So we want to do this, and the excitement behind it is really to just help us. I think I put it in there to skill up, right? We're going to skill up or fall behind. If we always do things the way we've done them, we're steadily going to start dying, right? That's the emphatic word there. So we have to figure out how to do things better. We have challenges that consistently come our way, from reimbursement to regulatory. Keep using those 2 words, but those are the ones that really try to keep us in a box. So it's our job to operate outside of that and figure out how to do things better with the resources and with the specifics that we're giving. So ideally, put the message out there, everybody be ready for change, right? Be ready to make some change, and the change is going to be positive. It's not just to do it because we want to. It's to figure out how to do things better, or we're going to use you. But also don't wait on us. Don't wait on us to come and bring the change to you. You identify something that you feel can be done better, deliver it to us, right? Deliver it to your leadership, deliver it to the team. Let's tackle it. There's no reason you have to wait for us just to get there. But there's every responsibility we have to respond to something that you might identify as well. So looking forward to this one. I really am.
Yeah. And I think we're only a month into the new year. We're already seeing teams across the company looking to break things, and again with purpose and to make it better, to enhance the process. So hopefully in coming episodes we'll get to bring some guests on, and they can talk about departmental specifics even of how they are looking to break everything and build it better.
Yeah.
So this has given everybody at Caprock the permission, the courage to ask, is there a better way to do things? That also ties into our core value of empowerment is, like you said, we're going to tap into people's competencies, their skill sets. We're not doing this alone.
Absolutely.
But giving people the permission and the courage to ask those questions. We're not going to live in the land of, well, we've always done it this way.
It's comfortable there, but it also passes you by. So we don't scale up, we're going to start falling behind, and that's going to be my promise to ensure that we don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
So our ask of our listeners is think about how you can tie this priority to your daily roles and responsibilities. Are there tools? Are there processes? Is there training? Different things that you can enhance by breaking it and rebuilding it better.
Absolutely.
So, think of some practical tips. As we go on the road and visit our offices, we're going to ask you how you're breaking stuff, and we look forward to hearing how that's going. So let's jump into priority number 2. Gosh, I don't know out of the 3 priorities which one is my favorite. They're all important. This number 2 gets me really excited from the people aspect, but it is the priority of create raving fans. And this ties into our core values of compassion and empowerment. And really, there's 2 visions of this create raving fans. There's the internal component. So we want our own staff and employees to be our biggest fans, where they go out and recruit other great people that want to be a part of what we're doing. They're pumped up. They find fulfillment at work. Then there's the external facing raving fans, where we want to deliver such excellent care to our clients that those clients go out and tell other people about the services we offer.
Absolutely.
And it just snowballs. So this is a really fun one to address both internally and externally, and excited to see what comes of this. With that, I wrote a little quote here. It says, raving fans aren't created by policy. They're created by people who feel seen, supported, and empowered. So, Carlos, you want to unpack this idea of raving fans that you brought to us?
Absolutely. I think one of the best ways to make people feel seen is creating that emotional connection, right? And we do that through compassion, right? That's core value of ours. We've got to go into every situation internally, externally. Probably some of the conversation I'll have here is going to be focused on externally, because we've made so much focused improvement internally with our staff, and we're still not perfect, but we're getting there. We want to emphasize that externally, right, as well. But we have to recognize when we go into conversations, when we go into a patient's home, be ready, be prepared, always in the mindset that individual is potentially dealing with struggles, right, that you don't know. And I probably preface this a little bit more on the patient's home, because we do walk into very critical and concerning situations that we're not familiar with in our daily life. But know that previous struggles and hardships exist, right? And doing that by expressing a high sense of compassion in any situation you go in. Compassion goes a long way, and it sets the stage. It helps you relate to that person, but also kind of sets the stage on how you treat that person. As we talked about, people always remember how you made them feel. They may not remember what you did, but how you made them feel. And whenever we don't make people feel happy, we make them feel, beneath us or whatever. Just for emphasis of a word, whenever somebody does feel below somebody else, it gives you a bad feeling, and they want to tell everybody about it. And if you're there as a service organization and you treat them that way, they're going to remember, they're going to spread it. But I think it's just as infectious if you treat them the other way. Treat them as if they're their most important person in the world, with compassion, listen to them. We obviously still have to do our job, but we have to make them a part of this process. It's kind of the genius of the and, right, of what I learned. There's a way that we can meet patient needs and their expectations. Going back to it, I get it, to understand that we still have some rules, things we can't do. But here's the thing. It doesn't mean that we can't find solutions for them. So there is a way for us to meet their needs and expectations. But the only way we do that was we make them a part of the process, right? They're not there for us to just go and provide care and do tasks and take off, right? We really need to make sure that we're meeting their needs as well. We need to make sure we understand what their desires are. And if it's something we don't provide, how can we help them find that? in order to do that, it really is practicing compassion, creating a comfortable stage for that patient, that client to discuss with you their needs, same as an employee. Creating that trust, got to create that trust up front, and you do that through being kind, being compassionate, and capitalizing on that, delivering on what their needs are, delivering on what their expectations are, helps to make. I want to say satisfied clients, because that's not what we want, right? We want to exceed the expectations. So that's what we should always try for, is exceeding expectations and letting them know that we are the only home health agency, home care agency of choice for them. There's others out there, but you don't want them. You want us.
Yeah, and that's a challenge. Again, I'm going to issue a challenge to our listeners with each of these priorities. And for this one, we've talked about it off of the recording, but just the idea that there's so many great stories happening every day on us delivering this exceptional, compassionate care. Oftentimes, we only hear about the negative experiences. Those 1-star Google reviews really sting. Yeah. But those are few and far between. However, we oftentimes don't capture or get to hear about all the good that's being done by our people out with our clients. And so that's a challenge to our staff that's listening, is you encounter these raving fans, man, let's find a way to capture it. Let's tell their story. Let's do a video about them, or get a client testimonial, and let's really showcase these raving fans, because that helps spread the positivity as well. And I know those stories are out there.
Absolutely.
We just tend to only hear about the negative ones.
Yeah, so. It's absolutely true. And I don't think that we're failing in this area by any chance, but we can always do better. Yeah. But we also need to capture it. It's great to capture it, certainly for the staff here as well, understanding how well we are doing, right? And providing some training and direction on how to do this better, having people drive this for us, right, that exists out there. This is usually an innate expertise, and a lot of people just customer service itself and quality. At that level is ideally what we're looking to enhance, looking to improve, and also having it become an expectation of anybody that works here.
Yeah, and you're going to hear the term coming up more as we unpack this in future episodes, and a lot of the communication we put out, but it's this idea of +1 service. We've talked in the past about second mile service. That's something that Chick-fil-A utilizes, but it's that idea of just going above and beyond.
Absolutely.
And you hit on it, that the idea that satisfied customers are actually just neutral. They're not going to go out and spread the word about you, so we've got to exceed that. And that's this idea of raving fans. So really excited to unpack this one. Again, we're fully capable of it. We're already doing it, but we can do more of it.
Absolutely.
That's exciting. All right, we're going to unpack priority number 3, and we will wrap up here. What I love about priority number 3 is it's actually a repeat from last year's priorities. We felt it was so important, and that we're making strides in this area, but it's a lot like number 2 priority. You never really fully arrive at this, but you can always practice and improve it. And priority number 3 is that of extreme ownership. And this ties in our core values of integrity and respect. And so again, let's hand it over to Carlos and tell us just kind of your mindset behind adding extreme ownership to our priorities once again for this year.
Yeah, so I brought this one back just because I don't think we're done with it. We were enhancing our leadership team, we're enhancing our staff, and I think this is something that we continue. We will always strive to enhance this and make it better, but it's something we came back to this year because I just don't think we completed it, right? And so extreme ownership goes from individual to support system. Our obligation is to certainly make sure that you understand the full responsibility of what you do, what you're doing, why you're doing, who you're working for, what we're chasing, but then also the tasks, right, that are a part of your job, but then also how those are important to other people on the team, how that really brings forward success for the team as a whole. And all of it starts with you as an individual. So we have to do our job to make sure you fully understand every aspect of your position and how it not only plays a role with your department, but with the company as a whole. But then the next, as we prepare that, you got to start owning yourself. You have to own your position, but you also have to own your mindset. We use the line of choice. We've talked about the line of choice before. It's one of my favorites. And I think it's something that you should always wake up to and determine how you're going to show up every day. So you're going to show up above the line. Having extreme ownership means you're going to show up above the line every day. It's hard to do it every day. I do get it. And if you find yourself where you can't get above the line, where you're just finding blame, creating excuses, denial, just stay at home, right? If I find myself and I can't get out of the funk, I'm no good to anybody. So I need to stay home and stay out of everybody's way till I get my mindset right. But on the majority, I would look to come and come into my position, come here every day. And it's here and at home, right? This is applicable both ways. But taking ownership of your responsibilities, your mindset, accountability for what's expected of you, and understand your responsibilities and deliver on those. I think ideally being able to do that, showing up for yourself, showing up for your team, really truly sets extreme ownership in motion. But it also comes with another piece that is kind of fun, that can be fun, is holding accountability. So if you bring yourself to the table, you bring yourself to your office every single day, into the home, with whatever tasks that you have, and you come ready to work and you're owning the day and others aren't, you should be able to call them out for it, right? You should, and do it professionally, right? Do it in a manner that you want to bring them up to that expectation as well. Not so much to come down on them, but to bring them up, to match it, right? We want everybody to be able to pull that out and call everybody to help them change their mindset immediately, within a couple of minutes, whatever it takes. And again, have compassion with that, because everybody is dealing with something that you may or may not know about. But don't make excuses for others and their inability to come up to your level, right? Certainly when it comes to owning the day, owning the project, owning the task, whatever it is. So I'm excited to enhance this one and get it going again. And I'd love to see everybody to start utilizing that to help others to get up above the line.
That's so good. Well, again, more to come on each of these. Extreme ownership is one that I think in some form or fashion will carry on for the entirety of Caprock's existence. It's so important how we lead ourselves and also how we are able to lead others, but it starts with that self-accountability. Then we can hold each other accountable. We've talked about it on previous episodes that you hold people accountable that you love and care about.
Absolutely.
If you don't care about someone, you don't really care about their behavior.
That's right.
So a high-level organization holds each other accountable because we care about each other. We know what we're capable of.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So again, this episode was the why and the what. Future episodes, we're going to get into the actual how. We're going to get into some very tactical approaches to how we accomplish these three priorities. So really excited for that. Again, the three priorities for the year are break everything, create raving fans, and extreme ownership. Carlos, you want to give us a little thought to wrap this episode?
Yeah, so ideally, as we talk about excitement for the year, where we're going, a lot of the priorities are people-driven. A lot of things we do are people-driven. So really this year belongs to the people who show up ready, right? There's a statement out there, and my wife, Cassie, and I will have fun with it in a joking way. But it's applicable to a lot of situations. But ideally, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. And that's the purpose of these priorities every year. That's the purpose of us expanding our leadership training and creating more tools. And that's the purpose of empowerment, is to help others continue to drive and make sure that we all stay ready. Ready for the changes, ready for the day, ready for the opportunities. As long as we educate ourselves and stay ready, this is going to be incredible year, incredible decade, incredible another 43 years.
Yeah. Man, you said it best. This year belongs to the people who show up ready, who stay ready. David was ready when his time came to fight Goliath. Here we are in 2026. So again, why not us? Why not now? Really excited about the year ahead for everybody, and we'll catch you next time on the Caprock Podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you.